this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the free ways to generate leads, to find deals, talk to sellers, and the cheapest ways in which you can get started in this video today. Guys, my name is Ronald Walker. I've been investing in real estate now since 2013. And since that time, I've done hundreds of deals. I've done a little over 500 transactions now. I started off wholesaling real estate. Then I went in, learned subject to, and started buying a whole bunch of deals. I partnered with two partners and a lawyer out of Texas, and we bought 127 houses over 18 months. From then, I went off on my own. I started wholesaling again on my own company by myself and fixing and flipping properties to the point where in 2019, I moved to Michigan, came up here to a brand new market, thought I knew everything, failed, lost a whole bunch of money, and had to rebuild my wholesale business again in Michigan. So now I'm doing subject twos, wholesaling, fix and flips, and the whole shebang from the ground up. So I want to talk about how do you get deals if you have no money? Where do you find leads? So the best lead sources for you to jump into right now, which we are doing, are what are called government lists. Okay. They're highly motivated. What you want to look for in 2025 and in the future is you want to look for people who need to sell, not just want to sell, right? We're looking for motivated sellers, not people who are like, I need to fire sale right now, but they have a reason in which they need to sell. And there's no better way than people who get on some sort of list that indicates their motivation. Okay. Now, here are the lists that I like to focus on. Number one is probate. Probate are people who have inherited a home. And when they inherit a home, they need to get rid of it. They need to fix it up and sell it. They want the cash from their inheritance. They're dealing with an emotional scenario. They have an asset and they want to liquidate it. Okay. These are the best deals out of my entire career in 12 years of real estate. These are the best deals are probate. So finding that probate list and doing that, which we'll talk about here in a second, exactly how to find them. Number two is pre-foreclosure. If you go to the foreclosure list, there's two types of foreclosures that you're looking for. One is depending on your state, is an appointment of substitute trustee. These are pre-foreclosure deals, all right? When they start missing payments, this is filed with the county, basically saying in the near future, they're going to file a notice that this property is in default and they're going to start the foreclosure. Well, that's the second list, is a notice of default. Now, in other areas, you're going to look for a lis pendus on the property when a foreclosure happens. And these are people who can no longer make their payments. Their property is getting ready to be foreclosed on. And it is the second list that you can jump into. Number three is a code violation list. If you reach out to the state, you will find a department that deals with code violation. In Michigan, it's the Health and Safety Department. When you reach out to them, you're going to make a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information Act request, and you're going to ask for all the residential properties with code violations. Now, pro tip here, don't just ask for all of the code violations. There's a lot of different code violations that happen on properties that don't really indicate distress. But what you want to do is you want to ask for the trash and debris and the vacant property records. You can also request depending on your area. In Michigan, you can do this. The people who failed a landlord inspection of the property for health and safety. If they failed that, that's also a really good one. But if you request this list using the FOIA request system, you can get free leads. The next request is going to be your water shutoffs, right? Utility shutoffs. Now, quick story. Back in 2013, there was this girl. She doesn't wholesale anymore. And this story really resonated with me. But when she started, she was getting deals that nobody else was getting. And she told me, she's like, Ronnie, I have no money. And so what I did was I was thinking about it and I went out to the county and I pulled all of the people whose water was shut off. I had went out in person. I started talking to them. I asked them about potential indicators of problems with properties. And the person in Dallas actually pointed her to this list. So she got it for free. Well, she started cold calling and texting that list from her personal cell phone, and she started getting deals. Well, when I met with her, she's like, Ronnie, when I make a little bit more money, I'm going to do it like the big guys do. And I'm going to pull from List Source and Skip Trace and go down that route. And that's exactly what she did. She made about $45,000. She bought a list from List Source. She skipped trace. She started doing it. Well, guess what? she didn't get any deals off the skip trace list from list source. She was getting all her deals from the water list, but she determined, dude, wholesaling's not for me. I can't find any deals, when really the deals she was finding were from the water list. Guys, I want you to think about this. Whatever source you're getting deals from, JV, water list, foreclosures, probate, don't graduate to the professional lists, okay? Stay and do the thing that you are making money doing and replicate that. That's how systems work the best, and that's how they work for me, okay? Is whenever I graduate and I go to something that's easier, typically I make less money and I regret it. So stick with the things that work the best. Now, um, the next thing you want to do is you want to reach out to everybody who did not pay their property taxes over the last 12 months. In my area, that happens twice a year. Okay. So I can pull it twice a year. There's summer and winter taxes that I can pull. And anybody who didn't make that payment at least 30 days after, I want to give every single one of them a call to see if they're interested in selling. Now, in order to do this, this is actually fairly simple now today. You don't have to have a certain um, form that I give you or anything like that. Although there are ways that you want to make the record request. Now, what I recommend is go to an AI system, okay, a chat GPT or an AI. And when you want to write your email or your letter to the department, you want to go to that department. You want to go into Chat GPT and you want to say, "Hey, write a Freedom of Information Act information request for water shutoffs." And what's going to happen is Chat GPT is going to write that request, or another one like Claude or Gemini or any of these, and it's going to write a request for you, and then you can tweak it. So you don't have to come up with that request yourself. I get a lot of things like, what's the request? This is how I do it, guys. I go directly to AI. I ask it to make a request. It does. And then I put it in to the sources online and I make the request that way. So if you go in there, ask ChatGPT to write the request for whatever you're looking for, probate, pre-foreclosure, taxes, notice of default, it doesn't matter. Okay. Ask it to write you the request. Go to your website, and every county is different, guys. It's actually really frustrating. I used to do it all the time in Dallas and Tarrant County, and then I moved to Michigan, and it was so hard to figure out. Okay, just like walking through all the different steps. Different departments do different things. You have to find them. Then they push back on you. I can't get that. You have to adjust. What information are you willing to give me? How much does it cost? All of those things. It is annoying initially, but that barrier of entry is what makes these, what I like to say is, harder obtained lists. Okay. And the harder the list is to obtain, the more money you can make from it. And you got to remember, we're looking for motivated sellers, people who are trying to sell this. So if you go out there, you pull these lists, you get them, you put them into a Propelio, a PropStream, a Privy, you get the seller information. Once you get the seller information, then you do what I like to say is the triple touch system. Okay. You call them, you text them, and you send them a direct mail piece. You call them, you text them, you send them a direct mail piece. And when you do that, then you will get more and more leads. Guys, I hope you go out there. If you have no money, start with these lists. They are the most motivated, they're the hardest to get, they're the most manual process. But if you do this, you will get more leads and you will do more deals than your competition. And then from there, once you get lists, don't go buy a different one. Instead, scale what you're doing. Hire a virtual assistant, hire someone to pull the list for you so you get them, and then you're reaching out to the same people. And if you want another pro tip here at the end, backfill your leads with vacant properties. You can pull them from many different sources, but if you backfill with vacant properties, you will backfill with motivation indicators. Someone who has a vacant property who's been sitting there, I would say at least 5 years. All of your leads, backfill them with vacants. And now you will focus on the most motivated people. I don't care if you're in Detroit, Michigan. I don't care if you're in Columbus, Ohio. I don't care if you're in Alaska. Backfill what they are if you're going to pull these. And this is the easiest, the cheapest, and the fastest way to talk to motivated sellers right now.